First of all, it's shameful that you don't cite where you got your information. Second of all, to my point earlier, these are showing his inexperience and naivety. Some of those issues have been around. His Vibrancy Center is equal to the hub of innovations that the state is doing. My point is you can't get all excited about ideas when you're seeing for the first time and expect to be a leader in this county. You need to have been engaged, working with the county, working with the various forms of government to put yourself in a position to lead.
Mr. Casey, do you want to weigh in?
I agree that the biggest changes need to be made by the people. The people are the ones that are going to present the ideas. The people are the ones that are going to start businesses. Government can't start businesses. We need to foster that innovation. We need to foster those ideas. We can create an environment so that people can do business here. And I think that's the track that we're on in terms of offering leadership and a winning attitude.
Thank you. Question for all three gentlemen. You'll have 1 minute each. I'll begin with Mr. Dolan. Yesterday, many of the county executive candidates spoke at Metro Health Medical Center. That was from both parties. One of the questions had to do with your support of that institution. I'd like to hear not only about your support of the health community for the less affluent among us, but what you think you should do if elected county executive to uphold and increase all the social services for our growing poor.
Thank you. Well, I support Metro Hospital, and the biggest way I can continue to support as a county executive is to make sure that they remain properly funded through the state. As the executive working with the Health and Human Services, we have to recognize that we are a county in need, but we have created a silo service delivery system where one hand doesn't know what the other is doing, and it reaps some tragic consequences that we've read over the past few months. So I'm going to create a wraparound service. So you'll have a point of origin. When you deal with the county, you will deal with somebody who understands that if you're a single mother with children, you probably need workforce development issues. So rather than going to 3 different buildings and talk to 3 different people, we will have people engaged to make certain that they can get all the needs met at one time. We also have to recognize that we have a tremendous administrative cost to our current system. And by moving some of these optional programs into one administrative format, you can save lots of dollars, which ultimately go to the services that the needy require.
1 minute, Mr. Casey.
Metro Health Medical Center offers a very valuable service to our citizenry here in the county. I have a degree from Ohio University in health promotion, and so it's very important to me to see healthy families. Healthy families start with a nuclear family and sometimes can extend into an extended family. I think that the importance lies in having a great health care system in place for our children because they're the future of our county. The health care system is pretty well funded. The voters voted for it last November to continue that funding. So, of course, I'm going to listen to the wishes and needs of our community.
Thank you. And Mr. Voinovich.
I have spent my entire life working in the nonprofit sector. While I was earning a living, I was also reaching out to my fellow man. I've been involved with 20 different organizations that have provided service to this community. I'm very aware of the needs. And you know what? I have in my 2020 vision, item 4, empowered neighborhoods and districts leveraging regional assets. And you know what that's about? That's about getting in touch at the grassroots level with people who need help. And if we can get closer to those people, we'll be able to help them in a way that we've never been able to do it before. It takes collaboration. You know, we send a lot of people to Metro General that don't need to go there. We spend money in the emergency room, and it's wasted. It's because they don't know that there's help that could be right there at the local level. And I think the last thing is what we really need to do is we need to get in touch with the people of this county in a way that really understands their needs. And that's what I'm going to do when I'm the county executive.
We now return to Jim Foster for some brief City Club announcements.
Today at the City Club, we are listening to a debate between the Republican candidates for Cuyahoga County Executive. The winner of this race will face off in the general election in November. Now we would like to proceed with the audience question and answer portion of our debate. Holding the microphone today is our Marketing and Outreach Director, Carrie Miller. Rick.
Thank you, Jim. We will now have the traditional City Club question and answer. Questions addressed to a specific person will be answered by him with a 1-minute limit. Other candidates may then also comment for up to 30 seconds. Questions addressed to all three will be answered with a 1-minute time limit for each. To the audience, thank you in advance for making your questions questions. Thanks for your cooperation. Thanks for being brief. First question, please, Carrie.
Matt Dolan, I think I understand your overarching vision for this position, but I believe that the position is going to require someone that can hit the ground running hard and fast. To that extent, what would your short-term and immediate priorities be? What would you hope to get started in the first 30 days? What would you hope to accomplish in the first 180 days?
Well, day one, we're going to issue an executive order to require ethics training of all employees so that the public is aware that the public servants now are working for them. We will also engage in a real estate assessment from day one so that we can determine of all the buildings that the county has, which ones are marketable, which ones are not. And so the marketable buildings we should put on the market and reap some benefits from that. We need to redo our entire procurement system. And that's something we can get done in the first 180 days. And I will establish Cuyahoga Forward, which will be this a very aggressive economic development program that will coordinate with the public and private sector relationships to create jobs.
Thank you. 30 seconds, Victor Voinovich.
As far as ethics training goes, if you think ethics training is going to clean up the corruption in Cuyahoga County, you're sadly mistaken. As far as what we're going to do in the first 30 days, what we're going to do is we're going to get in touch with the people, and we're going to do that on November 3rd after the election, with the people who have been handling the transition. We're going to find out what they think and what they have determined, and then we're going to take the best of our thinking with the county council and get in touch with them and make sure that we're all on the same page. Teamwork is what's going to move this county forward. The problem we've had is we haven't had teamwork.
Paul Casey.
Yes, I can see the reasoning behind trying to liquidate some of our properties, but we are actually in a buyer's market. I think it would be more a better idea to try to hold on to some of those properties and improve those for the public good. As a restoration contractor, that's the first thing that would come to mind. Once we can get the real estate market back and moving, that might be a better time to liquidate.
Next question, please.
Yes, to the panel. In the context, or actually in a future, where we'll be seeing likely constrained energy and also likely constrained finances, in regards to transportation, which of course propels and enables our economy, especially material good transactions and moving people around, what modes do you believe should receive or continue to receive subsidies, and which ones do you believe should not?
Thank you. 1 minute each. Paul Casey.
Well, there are many areas in energy with alternative methods of fuel, and something that's coming down the pipeline now is biofuel. And Ohio is ranked among the top 5 states in the nation in terms of agribusiness. We are ideally suited to capitalize on this market. Currently, the industry, the soy industry, is able to produce many barrels of biodiesel per acre. And I believe there's other agricultural technology that's coming down the line that can also promote this type of fuel. So I think in terms of adding and saving on transportation costs, which also is a big issue with the schools, we can utilize that and look for the subsidies that the petroleum industry is getting and put those towards a biodiesel industry. I think we're really primed for this industry now.
Mr. Dolan.
The continuation of the RTA subsidy I would support. It's 1% of the sales tax. As we generate economic activity over the years, they will reap more benefits. And also under the new charter, the RTA could come up under more of my leadership, which we can help make it better. I would hope whoever is the next governor would grab the federal money and not have it, not have the 3 Cs be Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. I would rather have the 3 Cs be Conneaut, Chardon, and Cleveland, and use that money to create a regional transportation system. That is an effective use of government dollars. The other thing with alternative energies that we have to understand that it is great to have the green energy, and we support that, but it's even more important for our long-term health that we be the manufacturers of the green energy.